Let me ask you something. When's the last time you bought a gun and immediately went online to brag about it? Not complain, not ask for help fixing something, just straight up brag. There are 4 handguns on the market right now where that is the norm. No buyer's remorse, no trips back to the dealer, no threads about feeding issues or frame cracks. Just real shooters saying, yeah, I made the right call. Today we're counting them down from 4 to 1. The legends that have survived mud, sand, decades of military service, and some of the most brutal testing the Department of Defense ever dreamed up. And by the end of this video, you'll know which one specific pistol is considered by many to be the closest thing to perfect ever engineered. Stick with me, because the gun at number 1 has survived tests that most firearms would fail inside the first 5 minutes. What's going on, everyone? My name is Andrew. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we talk about real guns, real performance data, and the kind of information that keeps you from wasting money on the wrong firearm. Subscribe so you don't miss a single one. Quick note on how I rank these. I did not go off a spec sheet or a marketing brochure. I went off decades of reliability data, reports from high-volume shooters who've run tens of thousands of rounds through their gear, and what actual owners are posting in the forums, on Reddit, and at the range. These are not display case guns. These are the ones people trust with their lives. Let's get into it. Disclaimer: this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Firearms require safe handling, proper training, and compliance with all federal, state, and local laws. Always verify current regulations before purchasing or carrying any firearm. Number 4, CZ7 the Ergonomic legend. If you spend time in the competitive shooting world or around European police circles, you already know what I'm about to say. But for everyone else, the CZ75 has one of the most devoted cult followings in the entire firearms world, and it's earned every bit of it. Pick one up and you'll understand immediately. The designers actually looked at a human hand before they started carving the frame. High beaver tail, thin grip, hand sitting way up on the bore axis. It's not just comfortable, it's controlled by design. Here's what makes it mechanically brilliant. The slide rails sit inside the frame rather than outside, a unique setup that creates an exceptionally tight fit and one of the smoothest actions you'll ever feel on a production pistol. Owners regularly report running thousands of rounds without a single failure to feed or eject, and it doesn't care what you feed it. Premium hollow points, cheap dirty steel case from the bottom of the bin. The CZ7 Autosave just eats it. The all-steel construction gives it weight that works in your favor, soaks up recoil like a sponge, keeps the muzzle flat, and gives the gun a durability that most polymer frame pistols can only dream about. The biggest complaint from CZ75 owners: once you buy one, you'll probably buy 3 more variants because you can't stop. It's a buy once, cry once kind of gun that will likely outlive your grandkids. Number 3, Beretta 92FS, the military workhorse. Think about this for a second. The Beretta 92FS was the official sidearm of the US military for decades. Deployed in the deserts of Iraq, the mountains of Afghanistan, environments so hot and sandy and miserable that gear fails just from being there. If this gun had a high failure rate, we would have heard about it a long time ago. The 92FS is famous for its open slide design. The barrel is almost entirely exposed across the top of the gun. That wasn't a style choice. That's a massive functional advantage. With that much open space, there's virtually nowhere for a spent casing to get caught. Stovepipe jams are practically eliminated. It's a design philosophy that puts reliability above everything else. In military testing, these guns were documented functioning perfectly after tens of thousands of rounds without a single cleaning. I'm not recommending you neglect your firearms, but knowing your gun can take that level of abuse and still perform, that's a serious peace of mind. Owners described the action as glass on glass, perfectly smooth. The alloy frame weight keeps the muzzle flat, making this one of the easiest full-sized handguns to shoot accurately regardless of your experience level. Are there complaints? Sure, some people find it too bulky for concealed carry. Some don't love the safety placement. But when it comes to the core question, will it go bang when I pull the trigger, the answer is a resounding, unconditional yes. It's an accurate, robust, iconic piece of machinery that simply refuses to quit. It belongs in every serious collection. Number 2, SIG Sauer P226, the elite professional. If the Beretta is the military workhorse, the SIG Sauer P226 is the elite professional. This pistol was chosen by the United States Navy SEALs after surviving some of the most brutal testing the Department of Defense has ever put a firearm through. In one legendary evaluation, the P226 had over 228,000 1,000 rounds fired through it. It didn't just pass. It outperformed almost everything else on the market. It was declared the most reliable handgun tested. When the most elite special operations force in the world chooses a sidearm, you pay attention. The build quality on the P226 is in a class of its own. Everything about it feels deliberate. The lockup between barrel and slide is tight, which translates directly to consistent groupings at longer ranges. The trigger, especially in modern versions with the short reset trigger, is crisp, predictable, and fast. Owners and forums talk about carrying their P226 for 20 years, putting tens of thousands of rounds through it, and never replacing a single part. It doesn't care if it's bone dry or swimming in oil. It handles budget practice ammo just as well as premium self-defense rounds. The P226 has a weight to it that keeps the muzzle down and allows for incredibly fast, accurate follow-up shots. It's a gun that makes the shooter look good at the range and in high-pressure situations. If you want a gun that feels like it was machined out of a solid block of confidence, this is the one. Number 1 Glock 19, the king of the Zero Complaints Club. I know, it's not the flashiest gun. It doesn't have the beautiful lines of the Beretta or the refined feel of the SIG. A lot of people think it looks like a brick. That's fine. Here's the thing about that brick. It is physically incapable of giving up. The Glock 19 has roughly 34 parts. That's it. In engineering, fewer parts means fewer things that can break. The striker-fired system has been refined over decades into something that borders on bulletproof. Drop it in the mud, leave it in a bucket of sand, freeze it in a block of ice, bake it in the sun, it will still fire. Owners are obsessed with the Glock 19 because it nails the utility equation better than anything else on this list. Small enough to carry every day, big enough to hold 15 rounds and feel comfortable at the range. It's the Honda Civic of the gun world. It's not a Ferrari, but it starts every single morning and does exactly what it's supposed to without any drama. The most common thing you'll hear from a Glock 19 owner: I've had this for 10 years and I've never had a malfunction. Not one. When you're talking about a tool meant for self-defense, that is the only stat that matters. And if you do want to customize, the aftermarket support is effectively endless. You can change every single piece of this gun to fit your taste, but most people find that the stock version is already exactly what it needs to be. Simple, durable. The one gun that almost everyone agrees is worth every dollar, so there they are. 4 handguns that owners don't just buy, they brag about, and for good reason. From the CZ75 with its incredible ergonomics and tight action, to the Beretta 92FS that earned its reputation in actual combat, to the SIG P226 trusted by the most elite operators in the world, to the Glock 19, the most reliable handgun on the planet, full stop. Any one of these is a safe bet for your next purchase. These are the picks that save you from the buyer's remorse of a finicky firearm. If this video helped you cut through the noise, drop a like, share it with someone who's still on the fence about their next handgun, and hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe out there. Thanks for watching.